Next tutorial that we're gonna cover inside this Vizard 6 is on the moving the viewpoint. Okay, how we're gonna move the viewpoint. So this is often useful to move the viewpoint manually. Okay, for example, we may want to start to position to be in the cafe or up in the balcony looking down into the courtyard. Okay, in the previous tutorial, we see that when we run the script, we will be in the center of the courtyard or in the piazza building. So how about if we want to start and run the script and then we are in other location. Okay, so this one is about this viewpoint. So let's look into the first one first, which is on the viewpoint position. Okay, how we gonna position the viewpoint. So in order to move the viewpoint relative to its current position, so we need to use this command. Okay, viewpoint.move command. Okay, viewpoint.move. So basically the following code will move the viewpoint right 3 meters to the X direction. Okay, 3 meters in the X direction. So remember that in Vizard is using meters. Okay, meters. So 3 meters to the X direction. Back 7 meters to the Z direction. Okay, Z direction is to the back. Okay, to the back. And then leave the height, which is the Y direction, unchanged. Okay, so Y direction is unchanged. Okay, Y direction is toward the height. Okay, Z direction is toward the back, and X direction is towards this direction. Right. So if we use this code, okay, viz.mainview.move, okay, in the bracket is 3, 0 and -7. So basically this coordinate is representing meters. Okay, 3 meters to the X. Okay, this one is representing as X coordinate, Y coordinate and also Z coordinate. Okay, so this one means that 3 meters to the X direction. Okay, 0 is on the height, which is unchanged on the height, and then -7 to the back because it's representing the Z coordinate. Okay, so let's try to copy this code and then try to run the script. Okay, and see what will happen if we use this command. Okay, so just now we add this code. Okay, 3, 0 and -7. So run the script and see what will happen inside this virtual world. Okay, you will see that you will start 3 meters to the X direction. Okay, and then 7 meters to the back. Okay, 7 meters to the back, and then Y, the height is unchanged. Okay, so this is the new location of where you start the virtual world. Okay, before this we start front here. Okay, in the middle and then front here. Just now we changed this coordinate. Okay, we changed to this 3 to the X coordinate, Y is unchanged, and then -7 to the back. Okay, 7 meters. So this is about position. Okay, or move, which is how we move the viewpoint. And then next one is that if we want to place the viewpoint in the world coordinate, we need to use the viewpoint.setPosition command. Okay, so if we add the following line to move the viewpoint 15 meters up, okay, 15 meters up Y direction, okay, and then 15 meters back using the Z direction. So we need to use this command, viz.mainview.setPosition. Okay, this is how we set the position of the viewpoint. So if we include this coordinate, okay, so it means that 0 to the X coordinate, okay, Y is the height, okay, 15 meters height, okay, 15 meters height, and then the Z is representing to the back, okay, -15 meters to the back. So let's try to copy this code and then try to run the script and see what happens if we add this code. So run the script. Alright, so you will see that, okay, you will see that you are up here, okay, 15 meters to the Y direction. Okay, so when you run this virtual world, so you see that you started on top of this virtual world, okay, 15 meters. So you might want to start your virtual world up here looking down, so it looks like you are at the balcony of the building. Okay, so this is how you change the position, right? So you're going down through here. Alright, go. So this is how you move, and then this is how you set the position. Okay, next we're gonna learn on how to change the orientation of the viewpoint. Okay, before this we know how to set the position of the viewpoint. Next is on the orientation of the viewpoint. So in order to change the viewpoint or orientation, we need to use the code or command of viewpoint.setEuler. Okay, setEuler. Okay, this one viewpoint.setEuler command. So basically this command take a list of yaw, pitch, and also the roll values. Yaw specify the rotation around y-axis. Okay, yaw is y-axis, pitch is x-axis, and roll is specify the rotation around z-axis. Okay, so remember that yaw is for x-axis. Okay, rotation around your x-axis. Pitch is the rotation around x-axis, and also the roll is specify the rotation around z-axis. Okay, so if you look down into this four figure here, we have A, B, C, and D here. Okay, basically this image is representing how we set this. Okay, for example A. Okay, A is we set yaw as 0, pitch as 0, and roll as 0. So we see this in the in this orientation. Okay, the straight orientation, because it's remain as all as the 0, 0, and 0. While the image B to D illustrate the effect of rotation around the different axis. Okay, for example B. Okay, this is how you're gonna see from the B direction, where you set the yaw as a 30, the pitch as 0, and also the roll as 0. Okay, so this means you do a rotation around the yaw. Yaw is around y-axis, so you rotate this axis. Okay, the y-axis, this one. Okay, for B figure here. And then for C, you change the viewpoint of pitch. Okay, so you set the yaw as 0, the pitch as 30, and also the roll is 0. So when you set the pitch as 30, okay, the pitch is rotation around x-axis. Okay, you see the figure of C here. Okay, is rotate around c-axis. Okay, this one. Sorry, the x-axis. Okay, for this C. Okay, because we specify the pitch, but the yaw and also roll is remain as 0. And then if you change the viewpoint in roll, which is you set as yaw as 0, pitch is 0, and also the roll as 30. Okay, so this means that you specify the rotation around y-axis. Okay, y-axis. So to see this effect, so let's try to add this line of code to give the feeling you are looking down on the courtyard from one of the balconies and try to run the code. Okay, so try to copy this one, viz.mainview.setEuler, and then you using 0, 30, 0. So this means that the yaw is set as 0. Okay, the pitch is set as 30, and then the roll, okay, is set as 0. Okay, it means that you set in the middle of this coordinate, so it means pitch. Okay, you change in viewpoint of pitch. So for pitch is specify the rotation around x-axis. Okay, so let's try to copy this, and then let's see and run the script. Okay, what this happen. Okay, so this is how you're gonna see when you run the script. Okay, you see at this orientation. Okay, so this is how you change the orientation. About the orientation, okay, using setEuler. So now we already covered how to move the viewpoint in terms of the position and also in terms of the orientation. So let's find out in the next tutorial on how to manipulate the 3D models. Okay, the next tutorial is on how we gonna manipulate the 3D models. Okay, in the previous section, we saw how to add and position a single plan model. So let us use the power of scripting to quickly fill this pizza with plans. Okay, so copy and replace your code with the following. Okay, I want you to copy all of this code. Okay, copy all of this and then replace with the current one. Okay, delete and then just paste all of this. Okay, so when using this script, all right, so when we run the script, you will see there are 4 lines of code that you are able to create 20 plans, okay, and place them in the exact location. Okay, so this is how we using the 4, okay, we using the 4 command here. Okay, try to run the script. So this one is the compulsory one. Okay, import width and also width set.multiple is using to sharpen your scene. Okay, and then width.go and then increase the field of view using main window.fov. Okay, and then move the position and then add the piazza and then this code. Okay, this 4 line of code is gonna upload the plan.osgb. Okay, it will upload this 3D model and then using the set position until you have 20 plants. So let's try to run the script. Okay, just now you will see that there are around 20. Okay, there are 20 plants have been added to this scene. Okay, so this is the faster way or quickly way to add several 3D model into the VR environment. Okay, using the code. So try to move around and see this. Okay, try to see this plan quickly using your mouse navigation that you learned in the first tutorial. Okay. Okay. So what's next? Okay, now we already learned how to specify the object orientation with your page and row like we did for the viewpoint using the node3d.setEuler command. So try to add the line that highlighted in this one. Okay, and try to run the script. Okay, in the previous tutorial we learned how to set the orientation for the viewpoint. So just now we want to change the orientation for the object itself. Okay, so try to copy this code. Okay, and then replace for this 4 line. Okay, and then try to run the script. Okay, just now you have changed the orientation of your plant. Okay, before this your orientation for your plant is going straight. Just now you have put the setEuler command, okay, to your script, so you have changed the orientation of the 3D model. So far we have manipulated the position and also the, okay, we have covered the orientation and also the position of the object and also the viewpoint. So there are 2 aspects of an object transform. So the third aspect is about the scaling. Okay, how we gonna scale the 3D model inside this wizard. So in order to cover the scale, we need to use the command of .setScale. Okay, .setScale here. Okay, so this command will take 3 scale factors that are applied independently to each of the 3 dimensions. Okay, for example, the result of following line would be uniform scale. So uniform scale here means that same across all dimensions. Okay, so this means that it's gonna scale onto the X direction, Y direction, and also the Z direction. Okay, so it will be a plan that it have 50% of its original size. Okay, this one we try to expand the size or scale the size of this 3D plan. Okay, using .setScale here, and then you change the gradient inside here to 0.5. Okay, scale of this to become 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. So it's will. So try to see this effect. Okay, copy this one. Okay, so you have try this one. Okay, if there is an error, you need to change the indent. Okay, the indent is mean that the spacing into inside this four. Okay, this four loop here. Okay, so try to run the script and see what happened to this plan scaling. Okay, so it's become decrease into 50% of its original size. Okay, just now we have set into 0.5. Okay, 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. So it's become decreasing 50% of its original size. Okay, so after you add this line command for the loop to see the effect of scaling, so try to experiment with some different scale. Okay, let's try to, for example, change to 3.5. Okay, 3.5. 3.5 and then 3.5. Okay, so try to run the script again. Okay, so it's become bigger like this. Okay, so it's look like a forest. Okay, try to walk around inside this. Okay, so it's become like a forest. Okay, so this is uniform scaling to 3.5. So for example, if I don't want it to be uniform, okay, I want to change not to be uniform or using the same size. So let's say I'm using this 0.5 to this, and then this one is 1.5, this one is 3.5. Okay, so this one is not uniform because it's different scaling for X, Y, and Z. So let's see what will happen to the looks of this 3D of the plants. Okay, so it's become like this. Okay, because it's not a uniform. Okay, it's 0.5 size for the X, 1.5 for the Y, and 3.5 to the Z. So it's become like this. Okay, so that's why it's suggested to you to use the uniform scaling. Right, so this is how about the scaling. This is how we manipulate the 3D model. So let's look into the next tutorial on how to animate your 3D model. Okay, the next tutorial is on how we're gonna animate the 3D models. Okay, so basically there are a number of ways to animate object using the Wizard built-in animation command. Okay, we use the built-in using the library, and let's try to add some plants using loop like we did in the last section, and then store them in a list. Okay, so this one we're gonna store this in a list. Okay, so let's try to copy this code. Okay, copy this and then paste into your script. Okay, replace with the current one. Okay, using this one. Okay, and then we need to add the following action related code and then try to run the script and see what will happen. Okay, so basically this code, okay, the first line, okay, this first line, import with act. Okay, import with act is line is basically will import the library of this with act, which include many commonly used action. Okay, and then the second line is spin equal to with act dot spin. Okay, so basically the second line is the spin action. Okay, we're gonna spin the plants, and in this case there are parameters or value that we need to set in order to specify so that our 3D model will rotate about which axis and how many the speed that we're gonna set. Okay, so for this example, okay, you will see that in this coordinate there are X, Y, Z, and also how is the speed for this spinning. Okay, so when we set like this 0, 1, 0, so it means that it's gonna rotate about y-axis because we set at the y coordinate. Okay, it's gonna rotate. Okay, it's gonna rotate at y-axis. Okay, y-axis, and then with a speed of 15 degree per second. Okay, this is the number of values for the speed. Okay, 0 is x, y is 1, and then 0. So it's going to spin at y direction at 15 degree per second. And then the node 3D dot add action here. Okay, this line or this command will apply that action to a specific model. So it's going to add this spinning to the plan. So let's try to copy this code and then paste under this line. Okay. Okay, so let's try to run the script. Okay, so you're gonna see that your plant is rotate about y-axis, okay, at the 15 degree per second. Okay, it's spinning. Okay, you can come closer to see this spinning effect. Okay. Okay, try to play around with the parameter of this spinning. Okay, for example, just now it's spin at the 15 degree per second. So how about if I change this to a more value? Okay, from 15, I want to try 50, for example. So it means that it's gonna spin 15 degree per second. So let's see these effects. Okay, so it's move more faster. Okay, it's faster than the 15 that we set earlier. This is the effect of the 50. How about if I change this to 150? So it's gonna spin or rotate 150 degree per second. Yes, okay, it's gonna spin at y direction at this spinning speed. Okay, so this is about y-axis. How about if I want this to move or rotate around? Okay, I change this to 0, and then I want it to move from the direction of y, x-axis. So I change this to 1. Okay, so this is the, if I change this to this x-axis, so it's gonna spin to the direction of x-axis. How about y? Okay, if I change this to rotate at y or z-axis. Okay. Okay, so this is moving to y-axis. Okay, it's moved into the ground. Y-axis. Alright, so this is how we play around with the parameter inside this spinning effect. Okay, so this is the tutorial of how we're gonna animate the 3D models. So let's move into the next tutorial on timer event. Okay, let's see what is this timer event. Okay, next is we're gonna learn on the tutorial of timer events. Okay, so this is basically timer event are very useful building block because they will let us to add time as an integral aspect to your 3D worlds. So basically timer we use to schedule other events, okay, trigger a choreograph sequence and also implement custom animation. So in order to start using this timer event, so let's try to start by plan spinning at different time. Okay, so we're gonna set on a different plan, okay, different plan and different spinning time. Okay, so we need to replace for this two line. Okay, for plan in span and then plan.action spin, we need to replace this one using this one. Okay, so just copy this one and then replace with this one. Okay, replace with this one. Okay, and look into this code first. Okay, when we run the script, we will see that the plant will one by one will start spinning. Okay, and there are 4 arguments will be passed to this command, okay, using the wizard.onTimer2 command. Okay, so basically the time interval, okay, this 0.5 inside this coordinate or inside this bracket, 0.5 is basically representing the time interval. Okay, this time interval is how often the timer will expire. So we set this to 0.5 seconds. So 0.5 seconds, the time will expire. Okay, each of 0.5 seconds. And then 19 here. Okay, the 19 here is representing the number of repeats. Okay, 19 here in this bracket is representing how many of the repeating, how many times to repeat the timer after the first timer expire. Okay, so it's gonna repeat 19 times. Okay, 19 times because we have 20 plants. Okay, 19 plus 1, so we have 20 times. And then the function of spin plant. Okay, spin plant here is the function to call that when the timer expire is gonna spin the plant. Okay, and then the last one is the function argument. Okay, Vizard.choice of plants. So this means that the argument will pass to the function. So in this case, the argument is the plant itself and is taken from the plant list that we set. Okay, so the function spin plant will get called every 0.5 seconds for a total of number 20 times, which is 1 plus 19 repeat. Okay, so each time the spin action is applied to the next plant in the list. So let's try this in this one and then try to run the script. Okay, you will see that it will get spin every 0.5 seconds on each plant. Okay, so this is how we add the timer event, okay, to schedule something. Okay, let's go to the next tutorial on how to add the avatar. Okay, so we are in the tutorial of how to add the avatar. Okay, so what is avatar? Avatar is a representation of the human in the virtual environment. Okay, so in this section, we're gonna add some human avatar in a conversation and a flock of pigeons. Okay, a flock of pigeons is a group of pigeons. And basically, avatar are the special subset of the 3D model that can change their shape with the animation. And the avatar functionality in Vizard is very extensive. So in this example, we are going to stick with the basic one first. So first, we will add 2 samples of avatar that are included with Vizard. So in order to load an avatar file into the Vizard, we need to use the command of viz.addAvatar. Okay, viz.addAvatar. So try to run the following script showing 2 avatars to the right of the fountain. Okay, so try to copy this one. Okay, and then replace with this one. Okay. So basically, this is the script that will add 2 avatar. Okay, one is male avatar. Okay, it's gonna upload the vccmail.cfg. Okay, male avatar. At the position, okay, is using the set position. It means that this male avatar is gonna be at this position. Okay, 4.5 meters to the x direction. Okay, y is unchanged and also 7 meters to the z direction. Okay, and then set Euler is mean the orientation at 0, 0, 0. And then for the one more avatar is the female avatar. Okay, we're gonna add this avatar. And this female will be set at the position of 4.5, okay, 4.5 to the x direction, 0 to the y, and also 9 meters to the z direction. Okay, and then this set Euler for the female is 180, 0, and 0. So let's try to run the script, and you will see there are 2 avatar, 1 female and 1 female in this piazza building. Okay, so let's come closer to them. Okay, and then try to see them here. Okay, this one is the female avatar, and then this is a male avatar. Okay, let's try to see them. Okay, in the closer here. Okay, one female and one male avatar. Okay, so this is how we add the avatar inside this wizard. Okay, so now we have add the avatar, but the avatar is just a static avatar. So how do we want to add some built-in animation to that avatar? Okay, so basically there is only take one line of code to apply the built-in animation to an avatar. So try to add the following code to set the avatar into the talking state. Okay, so just now we want to set our avatar into the talking mode. They are talking to each other. So in order to add that, so just try to copy this code and add to your current script. Okay, so this is the state of talking, okay, which is 14. 14 is the code for the talking state. Okay, so try to run the script again, and then you see your avatar is talking to each other. Okay, they start talking to each other. So let's come closer to see their reaction to this talking state. Okay, so you can see that they are talking to each other. Okay, so beside avatar, we also gonna add a group of pigeon. Okay, a bird of the pigeon bird. Okay, the pigeon bird avatar. So we will use the for loop. Okay, the for loop, and we create a flock of bird at random position. Okay, in front of this fountain in this Vizard building. So this Python random module is a number of commands that are useful for selecting random value. Okay, so the number of flock and the position will be in randomly. Okay, so we will use the command of random.random integer, okay, to choose the position. So try to add the following code to the end of your script and try to run your script. Okay, and then try to run the script. You will see there are a group of pigeon birds in the scene in the randomly position. Okay, so this is the pigeon bird have been added to your scene. So try to come closer to the bird. Okay, we want to look it closer. So try to come closer. Okay, this is pigeon. Okay, so let's look into the next tutorial on how to insert the user interaction in Vizard. Okay, next is we are going to learn on how to control the events in our virtual world, or how to add the interaction, how we're going to interact with the virtual world or the avatar or object inside this wizard. Okay, so we will do this by adding a keyboard interaction. Okay, so basically the Vizard library has command to handle a variety of events, including the key press or timer event. So we will do this by using the wizard.onKeyDown. Okay, wizard.onKeyDown. So it will listen to the specific key press and call appropriate function when it occurs. Okay, so it will depends on the key press on the keyboard. So first we will define a walk avatar function that get called when W key is pressed. Okay, so when W key is pressed on the keyboard, it will call the function named walk avatar. So when we press W, the avatar will walk. Okay, so this is the thing that we're gonna do in this tutorial. So this will add a walking action to the human avatar using the Vizard.walk2 command. And this command will take X, Y, and Z target location as an argument. Okay. And the location specified here are on the other side of the piazza through the arcs. And the female walk action is applied 0.5 seconds after the male walk action. Okay, so for this action, the male will walk first, and then the female will walk after 0.5 seconds. Okay, after the male walks. So this means the male will walk first, and then followed by the female after 0.5 seconds. Okay, so let's try to add and also run the following code to see this action. Okay, copy this and then paste to okay, so this is the script to we'll make the avatar walk, okay, using this Vizard.walk2, using this position 0.5 X, 0 Y, and then -4C to the Z direction. Okay, and then the Vizard.on key down here is using W. Okay, this means when you click W on your keyboard, your avatar will start to walk. Okay, so let's try to see these effects, whether it's working or not. Okay, just now is the avatar is here, and then I haven't pressed the W yet, so I want to press the W now. Okay, so you see that the male avatar will walk, and then 0.5 seconds later the female avatar is walking as well. Okay, it's delayed by 0.5 seconds for the gap between the male and female. Okay, so we walk through this direction based on the script just now. Okay, alright, so let's see what's next. Okay, and next is about the pigeons. Okay, pigeon feed. So we're gonna define a pigeon feed function that get called when we press P key at the keyboard. Okay, when we press the P at the keyboard, what will happen next is that the group of this pigeon, okay, will start to walking and also showing the feeding behavior. Okay, so just now we see that the avatar is just static at their place, but just now when we press the P, they will start to walking and also showing the feeding behavior. Okay, so let's try to copy this code and then try to run the script. Okay, so when we press P, it will call the function of the pigeon feed. Okay, so let's try to run the script. Okay, just now you see that this pigeon is just static at their place. Okay, so just now I want to press the P now. Okay, the P at the keyboard. Okay, you see the pigeon is start walking and then showing the feeding behavior. Okay, eating, feeding, okay, walking around. So this is one of the example of how we add the interaction to the virtual world. Okay, using P to start walking for the pigeon, and then when I press W now, the avatar will start walking. Okay. So this all for the tutorial for the Vizard introduction. So from here, you can learn more tutorial using on your left content here. So basically the Vizard 6 documentation is provided inside this Vizard. Okay, there are a lot of tutorial on your left hand side here. Okay, for example, just now we already covered the getting your feet wet, which is you learn all of this tutorial. There are more on this on the 3D model, the avatar, the appearance or texturing if you want to change the texture or appearance of the object inside the Vizard, or the multimedia, how to add audio, video and so on inside Vizard. Okay, so all of these have been added into this Vizard 6 documentation. Okay, so have fun and let's explore this Vizard 6 documentation and tutorial together. Thank you for this and see you in the next tutorials. Bye.